People are getting mad at you, Joe, for being honest and
what do you
for
mean?
being real. They're saying, don't tell me how to fan. I can have hope. Did I
say that?
I can say, you know what? I think the Warriors are one move away. How dare you say that a Stephen Curry-led team with Giannis Antetokounmpo can't compete for a championship? Okay. How could you say that?
Where did Milwaukee finish this year?
Out of the playoffs.
Okay. Where did the Warriors finish this year?
Out of the playoffs.
Okay. Where were the Warriors when Jimmy ended up getting hurt?
Out of the playoffs?
Yeah, okay. I just want to make sure we establish them. And if I trade all my picks, all right, so I'm going to surround this team then, all right, with GP2 and Seth Curry types. And those guys did what for this team last year? No, GP2
Gary Payton was good. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Seth was
You were the 37-win team. I mean, he was really good. You're a 37-win team. To be a top 6 team in the West this year would have cost you 49 wins.
Okay.
So Giannis and Steph.
I think that adds some wins.
Playing occasionally.
Yeah, occasionally.
Well, how many games did Giannis miss the last 2 years?
Well, I'll look that up. Probably a lot.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. And let me I want to make sure I'm clear here. Steph Curry's season last year was ended because of?
Injury.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then this year was marred because of?
Injury.
Oh, and
his runner's knee, so it's really
and his running mate was older, and they traded for him. And last year he ended the season with an injury, and then this year his season was over because of an injury. Like, are we not learning our lesson?
Giannis played 36 games this year.
Oh my God. Wow.
Hold on. The year prior, he was an all-star this year. And the year prior, he was 67 games. That was more than I thought. Year prior to that, it was 73.
Mm-hmm. Steph played 73 a couple years ago.
Yeah. So I'm just saying this was his worst year when it comes to that. But
nothing to see here.
No, I'm not saying it's nothing to see here. But that might have just been the outlier here. If he plays like 70 games next year, I'd take that.
Okay, again, I'm telling you in this Western Conference, I think you guys are not understanding. You need to have other players on the floor. So it's going to be Pat Spencer because it's going to cost you pods. Let's go through the thing. It would cost you pods. It would cost you Jimmy Butler. It would cost you what else? All your draft capital. So around the team, it's going to be Will Richard. It's going to be who? Maybe GP2 on a minimum contract.
Post. Keith Santos.
I like Gee. Gee might be part of the deal. They might want Gee.
Well, apparently Steiny did the right trade machinations for Giannis. It's Buddy, Hield, and Pods and 3 picks.
Buddy Hield's not on the team anymore.
Or not Buddy. What did I say? Jimmy Butler. Sorry. God, I don't know why I said that.
And Pods?
Jimmy Butler and Pods. Yes.
And how many picks?
3.
That's it?
Yeah.
So Mikal Bridges goes for more picks than Giannis. Come on, guys. Come on. Again, if I'll listen to this. Don't tell me how to fan. That's fine. I'm the one who penned that. But my point is like
you penned that.
You got to come with something that's a little more believable than the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse that I'm watching with my kid. I mean, that's a cartoon.
Rudy Gobert also went for 4 picks.
Come on. We'll get Giannis
just
because
those teams are dumb doesn't mean the Warriors are going to be all right.
There's always a sucker.
Thank you.
And we've been the sucker at the table the last couple of times.
Hey.
I'm not telling people to give up hope. That's not what I'm saying. Like, it's literally not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is they're
screwed.
Quick.
That's kind of what you're saying.
No. The days of plug and play, make a trade, and you're a championship contender, they're really, really, really difficult, and it feels like they're over.
You know who agrees with you? Nick Friedel, who covered the team the entire year for The Athletic.
I can only speak for myself. You can put Giannis on this team tomorrow. They're still not good enough, and that's part of the problem. Man. So that's part of what direction is everybody going? Is Kawhi enough of an answer to give up your future couple first rounders or whatever it would take to bring him in to make one more push? If I'm trying to figure out what direction they're going, if I'm the Warriors, I'm saying, all right, I'm keeping Steph because he's the whole show. I want to still be competitive and try and win. I just don't believe that with the pieces in place that they have and the catastrophic injury that Jimmy sustained, that they're going to be able to shuffle it enough to get back to that place before Steph walks away.
Okay. I think what he said there is like, and you can hear Guru, damn, like during the middle of that. All right, guys, The new CBA is not about 2 and 3 stars. Remember before COVID, it was like, oh my God, Paul George and Kawhi, 2 stars, they're lined up. It's about 2 or 3 max players. Okay, maybe it was at one time, all right? The modern NBA is, with this CBA, is different. Would you agree with me?
Yes.
It's about stockpiling loads of draft picks to have cost control the young cracks at the, development opportunities, and then a couple of in their prime max players and a guy who's playing like a max but is yet to be cashed in like a max. That's what the modern NBA is in the Western Conference right now. Look at the Denver Nuggets.
Yep.
They got a really good team, right?
Yeah. Bounce in the first round.
What do they need? They need some younger, cost-controlled pieces. They're very old and expensive.
Well, they thought their young piece, Christian Brown, was going to be part of that, and he's kind of fizzled.
Yeah, and Jamal Murray is good, but not great.
No.
And Aaron Gordon got hurt multiple times.
Well, McDaniels is right about them. They can't defend. So none of those guys, like Jamal Murray, Jokic, outside of Aaron Gordon, really, can defend at a high level.
So that team, which is a lot younger than your team, okay, that team has to make a lot of moves to be back in it. But the Warriors are one move away. Do you see what I'm saying? Guys, that logically doesn't make sense.
That team doesn't have Steph Curry.
They have Jokic. Jokic is
he was exposed. His defense was. No, he was. His defense was. Come on, let's be honest. Let's be honest. We always like to crush Steph's defense. But can we start crushing Jokic's defense?
All I'm saying is if you want to say, hey, we have Steph and that's different, sure. They have Jokic, who's younger and more in his prime. Now, you want to say Jokic is way lesser than Steph? All right.
I'm not going to say that.
Jokic is pretty special. We're talking about an all-time player.
He's one of the greatest players of all time, yes.
All I'm saying is that team, the Nuggets, feels a couple moves away, right? And even then, I don't know. We'll see. And then I look at the Warriors, and it's we're one move away. No, we're not. Guys, we need to upgrade a lot of spots on the roster.
Is there one move that they could make, just in the hypothetical game? Even if they traded for the best player, like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, if they got Shai on this team.
Oh, that would be he's one of the Victor. Okay. Would change things, right?
Okay, that's it. That's it, though. Outside of the pie in the sky possibility of that.
There's a couple of guys in the league that are going to do that for any team. Cade Cunningham is going to do that for a lot of teams, right?
Sure.
Those guys don't become available.
Yeah.
Well, at one time, Jokic was one of those guys.
Well, one did last year. Well, we didn't know he's available, Luka Doncic, but even he gets hurt. Yeah. The season's over.
It's a great point.
The season's over. Mo in San Francisco wants to join the conversation.
I don't know. I'm trying to be logical.
No, I don't think what you're saying is out of bounds.
I know people don't want to hear it.
I'm trying to hear from Warriors fans you're saying that Nahigian and Guru. I don't hear that on the station. I don't.
What do you mean?
I think we have pretty reasonable fans here that don't feel like even if they get Giannis, they're championship contenders.
Yeah. So in this,
because I'm not seeing it on the text line either.
But you go get Giannis, and that's a great starting point.
Sure.
But then what are you rounding the team around him with? And that's where, if you trade all your draft capital, that does limit you in how you put it together. Now, Giannis gets a max. Right. Well, Steph's on a max. All right? Well, 2 maxes is 75% of the salary cap. So you're right back in the exact same situation that you were in. All right, well, we got to load manage his calf.
Right.
So is he playing 60 games this year? Right? The reason why Shai Gilgeous-Alexander will never be traded, he's in his prime and he's never hurt.
Never.
He's never hurt.
Mo in San Francisco, he's been waiting patiently. What's up, Mo? You're on the roast.
What's up? Morning, boys. Hey, Shai never gets hurt because he also gets every single foul known to man. So that's probably a reason for that. Hey, I wanted to chime in on the LeBron versus Giannis. I think the honest thing kind of gets to the point that you're making, Shasky, about one move away. I think that's the reality is we're not one move away.
Exactly.
I think we're mixing arguments. That would be amazing if we had some other pieces there, but they're not there yet. Of course, you got Steph, but I am concerned about the injuries. I want to make an argument for LeBron, which is surprising to me because I was very anti until Spinoni. Earlier, you were like, oh, he'd actually be the second best player on the team, and that kind of blew my mind. But the thing we're not talking about with LeBron is his IQ. And yes, he's getting older. He is physical and not. But also, if we think about what he brings cerebrally to the team, and I wonder if there's an opportunity bringing him with Draymond, with Kerr. That could be really interesting to just be competitive, but more so, what impact can he have on the other young players and helping step their game up? Less about, all right, hey, now they're going to be all of a sudden.
I love this. I agree with you, but here's the conundrum. If it costs you a pick to do a sign and trade in any scenario, you have less youngsters to bring in. So, like, that's why I think, and I love your idea. I'm in on LeBron if it doesn't cost me this year's 11th pick. I think they need a young player.
Yeah, I wouldn't give up. I wouldn't. Yeah,
they need a rotation guy. Like right now, you don't have Moody, and I don't know what's going to happen with the Jimmy thing. Like, so who knows there? Like, you just don't have enough young guys to fill those voids that you're talking about. Like, I am in if it costs me not this year's pick.
But check this out. Yeah, I wouldn't give up this year's pick. But check this out. What we really need is value, right? And if he can increase the value of all these other guys, then it becomes really interesting a year or two from now where they're trade pieces, right? And then maybe we can go get younger. Maybe we can be starting to trade for some draft picks. So that part of it, I think, is interesting. It's something that's unique that LeBron can bring to the table.
That's a good point.
That's Mo in San Francisco.
I'm not ruling that out. That's a good point.
And listen, I am all in on LeBron. Do I think it's going to happen? No, that's a different question than would you want to bring him in.
And also, any sign and trade like machination, you'd have to have a team that has enough space.
Yes.
And then that team's going to want to be compensated. And if you're giving them the carcass of Jimmy Butler, like they're going to want to pick.
The carcass of just sounds so messed up, but it's true.
And I was listening to Mark yesterday. He actually made a good, like, we're undervaluing Jimmy. The expiring deals don't have the same value they did in the old CBA.
Are we undervaluing Jimmy? This is a guy that's how
he's
old?
The guy that we should be trading. Meaning his is the slot we should be trading.
I understand that you would want to trade him if anyone on the team right now. Who's undervaluing? Like, he doesn't have great value right now.
Well, my point is I think the value of an expiring contract in this modern CBA is not what it was a CBA ago.
Absolutely. Can you explain that? Why?
Well, it's just, I don't know. I don't know what it is. There's guys aren't hitting the open market in free agency the way they used to.
I would think it'd be the opposite, that an expiring deal now and then the current CBA would be more valuable.
Name the biggest sign and trade over the last couple of years.
I can't off the top of my head.
Klay Thompson?
Yeah, that's a good one.
It was a 6-team deal, and that was a $10 million deal.
I would just think that teams would be
free agency.
I would just think that teams would want to get people off their books more with the new CBA. See what I mean?
I just think people are all fretting long-term commitments to non-max players. The modern CBA, there is no middle class. It is rookie deals, max deals, and guys on mid-level exceptions.
Completely agree. The mid-level is done.
It's done.
Yeah.
It's done. Like the days of Caruso, for example, is coming off the books. Caruso could fit so many teams. Look around the league. Who's got $23 million just sitting there?
No.
For Caruso.
No one does.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I hate this whole convoluted. The
CBA is terrible.
CBA.
It's terrible.
It's awful.
It's terrible. And I think that's one of the biggest hurdles for the Warriors to clear.
Absolutely. This is what Slater had to say with us yesterday. Great interview, by the way. If you missed any of it, Anthony Slater on yesterday. Find the entire interview on YouTube or the Odyssey app.
So real quick, before you go to that, I want to double down on this. Furthermore, let's say you're a team, hypothetically, like a Wizards, okay? Oh, we'll take on Jimmy's deal and we'll cut him and we'll have max money. Nobody wants to go to the Wizards.
Well, they might now. They have Anthony Davis, Trae Young.
All right, so let's play the Milwaukee thing.
There you go.
Let's say Milwaukee. You're Milwaukee, right? Let's play this one out. You take on Jimmy Butler's deal. Okay?
All right.
And then he expires and you got all this extra money. Who wants to go to a Milwaukee team?
Who wants to go to, no, you're going to just stop there. Who wants to go to Milwaukee as an athlete?
How many free agents
in the
did
NBA.
the Detroit Pistons land before Cade Cunningham started playing well? In the 20 years where they searched the desert looking for players.
One, Blake Griffin.
After he was hurt.
After he was hurt, yeah. They had to overspend for him. Yeah.
It's a great example, right? They had cap space every year, did they not?
They did.
All right.
Andre Drummond.
No one wanted to go there.
Yeah.
All right. Guys with options and guys that are good. No one wants to go there. So back to the Milwaukee thing. All right. Why wouldn't they want Jimmy Butler's deal? They'd have cap space. They don't care about cap space. If you're tanking, no one's coming there to play anyway. You're just going to be awful.
I love when there's like a predictive text that comes in because I'm trying to decipher what they tried to like mean. 415, because it was auto-corrected. 415, not Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Shaggy Just Alexander played 60 games this year. Shaggy Just. Not Shai Gilgeous, Shaggy Just. I love predictive texts. And he only did play 60 games this year. You're right, 415. 650, Joe Spadoni needs to be checked with a Wemby elbow right to the neck. Is this WWE again? Someone's so angry. SGA would have you believe he went to the ER 6 to 8 times a game. I'm not even going to get on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Everyone just hates him. It's fine, whatever.
No, it's good. I think he wants to. I think that's good for his brand if people hate him, quite frankly. Anthony Slater yesterday on with us if LeBron to the Warriors is possible.
They've been interested in the past, and LeBron has kind of declined in the past, like if we're being honest, right? Some of this stuff has been reported. I think to your question, like, yeah, they'd be interested, but right now we're talking about like they could clear like mid-level money. You know, Cleveland's similar. Like part of the trouble I think LeBron might have is like this is no longer like a cap space unrestricted free agent type league. So it would have to maybe be a sign and trade. Would the Lakers even be interested in something like that? And, you know, I think that the Lakers showed when a lot of this buzz of him potentially leaving was going on, I think the Lakers were in a tougher spot. They actually impressed before Luka got hurt. LeBron was kind of sliding into this like third type role. They're in the second round. Like, yeah, they're getting pounded by the Thunder, but who isn't? I tend to believe he may go back, honestly.
So he's to stay with the Lakers.
Yeah. Shai Gilgeous played 68 games this year.
Oh, 68, sorry.
Because he qualified for all the...
He did. No,
so that's why I want to make sure we're clear.
Okay.
He went 68, 75, 76, 68.
Oh, okay.
And remember, they load managed him down the stretch because they had clinched
They did.
in both years.
Let's go to the man, the myth, the legend himself. Brian, I've missed you. I haven't heard your voice in like about a month now. Good morning. The floor is yours. Brian in Palo Alto.
Hey, guys. How you doing? I think that like everything has to be hit the standard of one move away from a championship. I mean, there's 10 teams in the NBA that have never won a title, right? So basically, if you're going to live by that standard, just everyone should just give up, right? Fold their tent and go home. I mean, the Thunder are not one move away from a title if SGA blows his knee out, right? In the same way, the Warriors are not a contending team with Jimmy Butler with a torn ACL or Luka's on the, like injuries happen, right? And yes, if you're older, they happen more, but I don't expect a title in the next 2 years from Steph. I'd love to see them contend and play some important stuff.
I'm agreeing with you.
What they do owe is they owe it to, because Steph made Joe Lacob as an owner, right? Like none of it happens without Steph. The valuation of his franchise and everything else that's come with it. For 2 years, I want them to give their level best to give him the best chance to be as competitive as possible. And in 2 years, you're starting over. There's no head start, right? And I don't have, it's the future of, you talk about one move away. In 3 years, they're going to be,
But here's the issue, Brian. You have to acknowledge trading 5 years of assets for 2 years, you get nothing for being crappy for 3 years.
Yeah, I'm not saying you trade all your first round picks, your future first round picks. They can put a good competitive team on the court next year without doing that, in my opinion. They're not going to get Giannis. Come on, right?
Okay, I'm in agreement with you. You could still field a team and have fun. Yeah. But the word contender, that's the problem I have with.
Yeah, but that's not, I don't think that's not a realistic, obviously in the title window, ending in 2022, I guess. But maybe you could think that. I don't think that way, right? And I want to see Steph get a chance to play important basketball because he's one of the greatest that's ever played when he gets that, platform. So, and then in 2 years, it starts over from zero, essentially, right? Pods Otani or whomever else, right? Pods is not a bridge. Pods is a bridge to nowhere, right? So all these other assets are expendable, in my opinion, as far as young players on the team. So, So, anyways, that's my take.
You and I are just not going to see this thing that Joe Lacob did nothing right, and he's just this boob that happened to be in the right place at the right time.
It's ridiculous.
Ask anybody who's done a remodel,
yeah,
or tried to pull a permit in San Francisco. This guy built a stadium in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Do you know how many other owners would have squandered the Steph era? They might have won one title. You ain't winning 4.
No. It'd probably look more like what's happening with Giannis in Milwaukee right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, think of some of the contemporaries who played on one team for as long as Steph Curry. Okay, Kobe.
Dirk.
Okay, Dirk went to how many finals?
2?
Yep.
Yeah.
And won 1.
Yeah.
Okay. Reggie Miller.
Went to 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we're acting like, and I'm not saying that Joe's the greatest owner who ever lived. He's certainly not one of the mediocre ones.
Yeah.
All right. There was they could have played this out with 29 other owners, and I bet you, what do you think? 27 of them come up short from what Lacob put together around him?
I think Joe Lacob is one of the greatest owners of the last 15 years.
OKC had
not even close.
Harden.
It's
Russ,
not even close.
They had Harden, Russ, and Kevin Durant.
He turned the Golden State Warriors into the most valuable North American sports franchise. The Golden State Warriors. Second, sorry. Who's number 1 technically? The Cowboys? Yeah, there you go. Like,
correct.
Come on. He turned them into equal footing with the Dallas Cowboys. That's insane.
No one's saying he's perfect, but he's certainly not some moron who just happened to be like standing there in the right place at the right time. I don't know. Okay. I don't buy that.
If you want to get mad at, him and him putting a lot of his children in positions of power within the organization, all I'll say is this. When you're the owner of the team, you get certain privileges. And deciding who works underneath you is one of them. If you want to say that's nepotism and it's negligence, all that, you can feel that way. It's rampant everywhere. I'm not excusing it. And honestly, until it turns into a total cluster, you know what, Joe? I'm not going to sit here and say whatever he's doing is wrong.
No.
Now, does he have guys that he roots for and guys that he wants to succeed in the organization, like a Jonathan Kuminga? Sure. I think a lot of people want Kuminga to succeed there.
Forget Kuminga.
No, but
does
people
he not
always
get credit
use that.
for Mark Jackson? Does he not get credit for hiring Steve Kerr? Does he not get credit for hiring Bob Myers?
No, he does.
Does he not get credit for bringing in Dunleavy? Like we act like it's like Jerry West did everything.
That's exactly what they did.
Jerry was very influential.
Who brought in Jerry West?
Thank you.
like, what are we doing? Do you get credit? See, this is what I also have a hard time in the sport of basketball. We never want to give credit to anyone else but the best player on that team.
And it drives me nuts.
It's always what it is.
And what are we doing right now with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, just nationally? Everything is now dismissed and he's a grifter. And I'm like, well, that's too far on the other end.
It's all he does is foul bait. He's not even that great. Although Lebitard had a great tweet this morning, or a poll question is like, if the Oklahoma City go back-to-back, are they the most slept-on dynasty of all time? Maybe. It's not even slept on. It's just they don't resonate with us. No. It's like they just don't like it. But you know what? You said something I think is great. It's like they're becoming hated because of the foul stuff.
Yeah,
and I actually think that's good for them.
No,
if they become a villain, it'd be great. But that's what always happens in sports.
Why are we discrediting? Like, Shai's awesome. Like, yeah, I don't love the foul grifting either, but he's freaking awesome. He's a great player. You know, like, I watched this whole thing
because we hate greatness.
Well, just his ability to pivot and jump stop with 2 feet is like a lost art. Kobe was like the master of it for a younger generation. I mean, he's excellent at it. Dirk was amazing at it. All these ISO mid-range scorer threats, like the amount of dedication to his craft. And yes, part of that is the grifting. I acknowledge all that. But we're taking away from his excellence. He's also unbelievable. And ball handling, the shoulders, the ability to hit the fadeaways, the off-balance shots. I mean, he's unbelievable.
Would you guys say Jalen Williams is their second best player? Santa Clara Jalen Williams?
Yeah, probably.
Has he not played like this entire postseason?
Yeah, he's been hurt forever.
They swept both teams.
I know. Well, that also goes to show you how good that team is.
No, for sure.
And Chet's awesome, too.
No one brings it up.
Chet's so good.
No, he's really good. And maybe
good.
Chet is now becoming that second best player in his own right. And he was drafted to be that.
Going back to the CBA, they will have to move one of those 3.
Sure.
You know, like that's coming, right?
And
like,
maybe they're figuring out right now, maybe we couldn't get rid of
It's going to be Jalen.
Yeah, maybe we could get rid of Jalen Williams.
Now, that's a name. All right, now let's talk. If you want to be real. And I brought this up. How many weeks ago did I bring this up? Carter?
I was having a baby.
Yeah.
A month? He's always hurt, though. Because it's been multiple years. And I have, like, legitimate questions on his butt. He's a hell of a player.
Yeah.
I would be much more in on, like, hey, what if it costs you a couple picks and we match salaries and go get Jalen Williams. I'm interested in that because that's a young player, again, in his prime. He has legitimate injury concerns.
Yeah.
But now you're talking about a guy under team control who is an absolute dynamic player when he's out there, but it's risky. And like any of those guys that you would acquire are either super old or super risky, right?
No, for sure.
He fits the bill. I would listen to that. Now, would I rather have Chet? Yes. Would I rather have SG? Of course. But like, those guys aren't available.
Slim pickings.
If Jalen's available, I think you listen.